Chances are, if I'm attracting you to this video right here, right now, that you're one of the souls that don't take the easy route. To put it in the most under-exaggerated term of words, you're the kind of person who doesn't accept what's normal, who doesn't just follow what we're supposed to be doing. And it's definitely an unconventional way of living, which is surprising, isn't it? Like, for me, it's a wonder how many of us just go along with what's been told and what's been inflicted and conditioned upon us. By the way, sorry for this. I'm sick right now, and I'm showing up, and told myself I wasn't gonna apologize, but I'm not always this crusty. Yeah, but I guess this is kind of also a video just for one, just to say you're not alone, and for two, we all feel that this is heading somewhere. Like, let's be real. Like, we know deep down that this is not for nothing, that our struggles are not for nothing, that our moments of solitude that we've really inflicted upon ourselves, but sometimes can feel really lonely in, not because people are missing around us, like we kind of do it to ourselves, you know, but because the right people are missing around us. And that transition phase of, like, I don't even want to say like stepping out of the old life, because that's such like an overused term, you know, but it really is like the old dying, you know. And that transition phase can feel like a long hallway, just getting longer and longer and longer, and eventually you're just kind of like, well, I guess this is life now. But no, it's 222, it's heading somewhere, you know. Like, that long hallway is going to unify into, that's why the 222, the long hallway, is the unification. You're blaming the long hallway for being there when in your old life you asked for a better new life. And because we have big dreams and big hopes and big ambitions and big everything, let's be real, that hallway gets even longer than someone who maybe only dares to dream half as big as their soul really wants to, you know. And I feel like we're ever expanding that within our lives, of how big and how far we can dream and how far we can push our limits and push the edge and everything. And it can, like, it's lonely, but it's not, you know. I think, like, I don't use any hashtags, I just post, and so I energetically attract people into my space, and so that means we're on some kind of energetic resonance. If that means you're going out of the space or coming into the space, doesn't matter, you know, but like, we can learn something from each other, you know. And it's really me tapping into the energies. And even though I don't have many viewers as of right now, you know, I can feel myself tapping into future energies that, like, I can't really describe it. Like, I feel myself talking to people even though I know no one's watching. And that's kind of the energy. Like, keep going, because you might think no one's watching, but there's a lot of people watching. You know, maybe not in the way you think, but in a way that's like beyond the seen realms. And I think it's really important to just trust in that feeling that you get, and just knowing, yeah, I am on the right path, and no, it doesn't make sense. I look like fucking Albert Einstein right now. And no, it doesn't make sense. Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. But at the same time, 444, at the same time, it does. Like, it's like building a foundation on different kinds of grounds. And so in the beginning, it's super confusing because you first, like, there's like firmer bits, there's softer bits, there's parts with more calcium in them, there's parts where, like, you could go on, and at first it's fucking confusing because then you're like, okay, well, I have to adjust here, I have to adjust here. How am I going to make this all work together? Like, it's hard to see in the beginning, but once you work bit by bit, like by foundation, so to speak, then you can create through the pieces of foundations that you build one massive foundation that supports you as a whole being. So it's almost like the fragmentation or the fragments from Carl Jung's theories and everything, like almost like you retrieving those fragments back together and building a foundation on those puzzle pieces and then bringing those puzzle pieces together to create a meta foundation. And in the process where we're building all these micro foundations, it can be super confusing because we're like, how is this going to hang together? Like, how is this going to come together? But the picture is already there, even if we can't see it, And so art has a way of working onto us. So if you see it as like a picture forming, just like a painter paints and the art kind of presents itself, it's not really you making the art, it's the art making like itself through you. And it's kind of a similar thing, and so you can't really mess it up. Maybe you'll start in a different range than, or in a different order than you maybe initially thought, but you really can't mess it up. It's still a part of the bigger picture. And I think I'm going to a different tandem now, but but I'm just showing up here because I know that this work is it's gonna pay off one day. And I know no one believes in me right now besides spirit and myself, and that's totally okay, and that's all I need. And I think it's going to be a really valuable lesson because all the people that don't believe in me right now, there's not a sliver of anger, but of more so, you just wait and see. I'll show you, like, and not in a way of trying to prove myself, but in a way of expanding their own limited vision of what is all possible. Because in the end, anyone who holds you back from your vision, most people, they don't mean it in a malicious way. It's really just their own caged views and perceptions of what's possible and what they can do in this life. And when you show or you discomfort that belief in them, then you're going to be met with a lot of resistance. And it's not necessarily resistance that you need to take in because it has nothing to do with you. And if you're empathic in any kind of way, we're going to take that in and we're automatically going to be like, oh shit, okay, well, I need to deal with this, but it wasn't yours to begin with. And I think along this journey, you don't have to do anything but differentiate what is your energy and what is the other energies. And only through doing that within this long hallway and not having these other energies, whether they mean it or not, like attacking pretty much our space and our creative, and infecting our creative energy to build what's on the other side of this long hallway. So I think it's actually really crucial to create a sanctuary of solitude within this long hallway. Not isolation, very important. Not isolation. It shouldn't feel uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable, but it shouldn't feel lonely and comfortable. It shouldn't feel like you're longing for other people, because that's loneliness then, but in this thing of solitude, it's longing maybe for people who truly connect with your real self that you're already tapping into. And sorry, I ate bread earlier and my butter dropped out. I'm a mess, but it's okay. I'm still showing up. But I know it's not going to be like this forever, and I know I definitely have my more presentable moments, and I genuinely don't feel the need to show those parts to the world, besides those like in my present reality, you know what I mean? Because we have way too much of presenting a version of ourselves that we aren't, and so my version of not doing that might be a little extreme, But at the same time, I also want to show with my presence that it's okay to show up as you are. And there's no need to be embarrassed to be in a phase in your life where you know you're not going to be in forever, but you are in to get yourself to a better place. And I think it's crucial to trust yourself in that process and to get rid of any voices in the external that could make you doubt your process. Because doubt is a seed. Someone says it once and you think, I won't let it get to me, but it's somewhere in the deep subconscious it kind of did get to you. And it infects the manifestation energy. And even if you're actively manifesting or not, we're always manifesting. And so I think it's really important in big transitional phases like this to recognize what's my energy, what are my fears, what are the ones that I just adopted from other people, to confront worries, fears, and not to just brush them to the side, but to really dive into them and see what's on the other side, and to really find the gold out of the lead. 11:11, man, fuck yeah. It really always comes down to that. And it looks like nothing's happening on the outside. It looks like depression on the outside. Trust me, I know. Like like on the outside, I'm just like, oh man. I feel like if people do like, I've never been happier. You know what I mean? At like 11:33, like I've never been happier, and I've never felt more internally adventurous. But I understand why it's so easy to misunderstand from the outside right now, and it's kind of funny, you know. I kind of just laugh about it because, like, people think because I'm in this phase of solitude that I'm probably doing, not just probably, I know some people think like this, that I'm doing so bad, and maybe it's because it's what they want to think. Maybe not, but maybe it is, and let them. That's all I can say with that. Let them misunderstand you. Let them make you, like let them think that your life is falling apart when you know it's falling apart just to come together. Let yourself surprise them. And my throat's starting to close up, so I'm going to stop it at that. But I hope whoever needed this message found it. And just know, like I said, you're not alone. I feel like that's like the main message coming through here. You're not alone. I feel the work you're doing, and you know exactly how important it is. And don't give up. Keep going. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.